No one's safe here tonight. We are happy to indulge you if you're looking for a fight, or just go home.
And we'll go on backstage with Zac Gibson. Zac, do you have any regrets about what you did attacking?
Regrets? Regrets? I'm guessing you're talking about that little dweeb trainee.
Mihai, you want
Listen, I am Liverpool's #1 Zac Gibson, soon to be recognised as Defiant Wrestling or IPW Wrestling. I don't care what you call it, I'm going to be #1. Soon to be recognised as the UK's #1, and soon to be recognised as the world's #1. I don't regret beating up some little 6 months brand new in the job dweeb. I don't regret a thing. So ask me some important questions or get out my changing room.
Mihai has demanded a match with you tonight. How do you feel about that?
Are you just going to allow this to happen, yeah? You're going to pay me full wage to wrestle a 6 month in trainee. You just, this company, mate, you just love giving money away for nothing, don't you? Like, by no means, I'll have the match, lad. It makes no difference to me. It's a night off as far as I'm concerned. But honestly, you better get that kid to sign some paperwork so that you guys aren't liable when I drop him on the deck, wrap his skinny little arm around his stupid little head. Honestly, what is Rampage Brown teaching them at that school? What is he doing for them, honestly? Sending them to the ring. What are you doing for him? Go now. Go and find him. Ask him seriously if he wants to do this, and if he still says yes, make him sign some paperwork, because I'm not getting sued after I drop that little dweeb. And you will pay me full wage. Go on your way.
A young lady from a fine wrestling pedigree on her way to the ring.
The following is a singles match set for one fall. 20-minute time limit. Introducing first, wrestling out of Liverpool, England, Zia Brookside.
Via Brookside, 3 weeks ago already with a big win in a triple threat match here in Defiant Wrestling. I say she's got a great pedigree. She is the daughter of British great Robbie Brookside. And of course, Zia forging her own path here. I wonder if it actually annoys Zia a little bit that people keep referring to her dad, because she is a fine competitor in her own right.
She's one of the future leading lights of women's wrestling in the UK. Not only that, but across the world. But the same could be said for this woman, the 21st century badass. 17 years old.
Her opponent is simply the first 21st century badass, Millie Mckenzie!
Millie Mckenzie started out her Defiant career with a shock victory over Little Miss Roxy a few weeks ago, and that is how she has earned her place in this #1 contenders match. And as you say, just 17 years of age, already reached such a position in the women's division that she is one win away from challenging Kaylee Ray for the title. But it is a win that will be very, very difficult to get against Zia Brookside.
Well, Millie Mckenzie cannot have been pleased that Zia Brookside, she entered Defiant Wrestling, big win in that triple threat, almost stealing the thunder of the 21st century badass.
Millie Mckenzie, though, although she was in that match, was not pinned. It was Little Miss Roxy who was defeated by Zia Brookside. So as far as Mckenzie is concerned, Zia has never beaten her. And obviously, matchmakers here in Defiant, whether it was IPW or whether this match was made previously, they've agreed, because this match has been signed. And I think this is a great call. What a match this could be potentially.
Well, think about this though. Mckenzie, to my point, she was the newcomer. She was the new blood, the one going for the Defiant Women's title. Now there's a new factor. Zia Brookside picked up a huge win. Okay, didn't pin Mckenzie, pinned Roxy. However, Mckenzie wanted to be the one with her hand raised in that match, not Brookside. A chance for the 17-year-old to set things right here tonight.
Side headlock applied by Mckenzie. Headlock takedown. This young lady, really, it's very hard to believe that she is 17 years old. When you look at her repertoire, the amount of moves she knows, the amount of hold, the amount of counters that Millie Mckenzie knows is someone reminiscent of someone twice her age.
Well, when you think about this also, Zia Brookside only 18 years of age. Dave Bradshaw, both these women combined are almost the same age as you.
And you.
Oh, come on.
By the way.
I heard when you were 17 years old you could barely even tie your own shoelaces, let alone be such a professional athlete as Millie Mckenzie.
Where'd you hear that? I don't care, I just realised. Millie Mckenzie with the wrist lock applied.
Some people, honestly.
Brookside able to use the ropes to help counter that. Bit of inexperience perhaps there from Mckenzie. She was a little bit too willing maybe to allow Zia that ability to get to the ropes, and oh my, a hard kick between the shoulder blades from Mckenzie and one to the front for good measure.
Both these women will show flashes of inexperience, however, think about how much they have achieved already in their young lives.
Roll up here from Brookside, 2 count.
They are already, both of them, Brookside and Mckenzie, well on their way to becoming some of the best female athletes on this planet. Mark my words.
Mckenzie sends Brookside into the corner. Mckenzie will follow her in a forearm. He charges in a second time. This time, Brookside gets her foot up and blocks it. And Mckenzie could be in trouble here. There's a Hurricane Rana from young Zia Brookside.
Zia Brookside showing some of the fire that her father is famous for.
And we said this before when these two were in that triple threat match, but if Millie Mckenzie is the first 21st century badass, then Zia Brookside may well be the 20th century's last, because she is matching Millie Mckenzie and then some here.
What does this mean for Mckenzie if Brookside picks up the win here on Defiant? It's Mackenzie's nightmare scenario to watch another youngster waltz into this company and again steal her thunder.
Well, that would be an interesting test of this young lady's maturity, if she can bounce back from that quickly and understand that sometimes you will get setbacks in your career, but she's not at that point yet. In fact, as far as Mackenzie's concerned, she thinks she's going to win this, and she might with that German suplex.
Oh, referee. Steve Linsky checked Brookside's neck. That had to hurt. Oh, and again.
Spinning neck breaker. Mckenzie doing a great job of doubling down on that neck, and she got it. Millie Mckenzie beats Zia Brookside.
Here is your winner, the first 21st century badass, Millie Mckenzie!
A bolt from the blue there, from absolutely nowhere. Millie Mckenzie with that neck breaker. Enough to put away Zia. Wait. Well, that's...
Hold on a second now.
That is the music of the former women's champion, Bea Priestley. We haven't seen Priestley in months. But here she is. Priestley is in London.
Bea Priestley, what does she have in mind? A former women's champ in her own right. Millie Mckenzie is still inside that ring.
Well, I'll tell you, I bet you I know what Bea Priestley has in mind, because as far as Priestley's concerned, she should be the one challenging Kaylee Ray to try and regain the women's title that she lost to Ray. So I guarantee you Bea Priestley will not be happy that someone else, and indeed someone so new, is the #1 contender in her place.
It looks like we're about to hear from Bea Priestley. Is that exactly what she's going to say? We're about to find out.
Hello.
Hello.
You guys remember me? Millie. For those of you that don't know, The past 2 months, I've been wrestling in Japan for Stardom. And I actually am the first ever Gaijin to win the Goddess of Stardom Tag Team Tournament.
Making waves around the world.
But, although I may have been all the way on the other side of the world, I've been watching you, Millie.
Who hasn't?
And I see that you've got eyes in the Women's Defiant Championship. But there's only one Queen Bee in this promotion. So, if you want that belt, you better put up a f***ing fight and fight me for it.
Bea Priestley, I think, is challenging Mckenzie to a match here.
Let's go right now.
Oh, Mckenzie not backing down. She's already beaten Zia Brookside. She wants to add Bea Priestley's scalp to her collection.
This is going to happen right now. This is awesome. Bea Priestley against Millie Mckenzie. Oh God, look at the German suplex there from Mckenzie.
Bea Priestley wasn't expecting that. They have knocked her back into Japan.
Twice on the back of the head of Priestley, those German suplexes.
And again, 3 times in a row.
Make it a hat trick.
Millie Mckenzie, talk about one to watch.
Mckenzie trying for a 4th. Priestley knows she has to get out of there. Priestley will go to the rope, double clothesline, both ladies down. Goodness me, what a start from Millie Mckenzie.
The competition fierce in the Defiant Wrestling Women's Division. Everybody wants their hands on what Kaylee Ray has, the Women's Championship.
Split crowd here, a lot of fans loyal to Bea Priestley, who obviously has a long and storied history here in Defiant, including a reign with the Women's Championship, but Millie Mckenzie has very, very quickly earned the respect of these fans because she has been absolutely stunning over these past few weeks.
Well, in Bea Priestley's absence, albeit people happy to see Priestley back in the UK, while she was away in Japan making waves, Millie Mckenzie has been doing the same in Defiant Wrestling.
That's why this is a great impromptu match. To see this is a real challenge, a real gauge, if you like, of who really is the Queen Bee. Priestley trying to prove it's still her, but she's a half second away from being able to do just that.
I still can't believe that opening, the trifecta of German suplexes. Hold on.
There's a submission from Priestley. Priestley trying to put away Mckenzie. Don't forget Mckenzie's already wrestled a match against Zia Brookside. Mckenzie trying to change the position of her body, trying to reach that bottom rope, but Priestley hooked the leg. And now Mckenzie with nowhere to go. She managed to get her arm there. In the end, Mckenzie switched plans again, got her arm there, but that hold was locked in for a very long time, and the damage may have been done.
Well, one match or two, Millie Mckenzie has been overheard backstage saying, it doesn't matter, 17 years old, I can wrestle all day and all night. She's proving it here in Defiant.
Priestley goes to the right, Mckenzie follows her in. Priestley going to return the favour.
Warrior Princess versus Queen Bee.
Mckenzie, Priestley, both to the rope, spear from Mckenzie. Will Mckenzie steal another one here? She might. Oh, Priestley out at 2.5.
Oh, Mckenzie a whisker away from giving Bea Priestley a very unhappy return to the UK.
Mckenzie going to try and maybe hit that spinning neck breaker, the same one she just put Zia Brookside away with a few minutes ago. Instead, high angle belly to back suplex.
Picture perfect. Priestley goes for the cover.
Got that right leg hooked and Mckenzie kicked out. Fatigue clearly an issue at this point for this 17-year-old who's, as I said, already in her second match of the evening. Another submission attempt here from Bea Priestley.
Somehow makes it to the ropes. You can't fail to be impressed with Millie Mckenzie. As you say, Bradshaw, this is her second match in quick succession. She's giving Bea Priestley A world-travelled veteran by comparison. One hell of a contest.
Let's not take anything away from Priestley, by the way, either, because Priestley, for all of her achievements here previously, is showing just how much she's developed in the last couple of months. You can really see that Japanese influence starting to come in to Priestley's arsenal here.
There's a swagger and a confidence about Bea Priestley. But Millie Mckenzie has the same. This is precarious. Up in this top rope.
Mckenzie trying to neutralize Priestley so she can maybe deliver a superplex or something. Oh, hang on. Priestley, the move she's borrowed from her boyfriend, Will Ospreay, the cheeky Nando's kick.
And Priestley ain't done.
This is a bad position for Millie Mckenzie. Priestley above her. Mckenzie counters.
Bea Priestley wasn't expecting that. Millie Mckenzie back on the offense.
Running uppercut from Mckenzie, who will try for the Canadian Destroyer here on Priestley. Priestley's head bounced off the canvas. Don't tell me! Oh my God! Mckenzie puts away
Here is
Priestley.
your winner and still #1 contender to the Defiant Wrestling Women's Championship, the first 21st century badass, Millie Mckenzie!
Well, the Defiant Women's Division, clearly one of the hottest women's divisions on the planet. Billy Wood is trying to mess with this women's division next week. How ridiculous is this? Women's champion Kaylee Ray forced to defend the women's title in a 2-on-1 handicap match against Vader Scott and Little Miss Roxy. That despite the fact that Mackenzie's now the #1 contender.
Well, Mckenzie hot on the trail of the Defiant Women's Champion, Kaylee Ray. However, next week, a huge handicap situation for the champ.
Manchester, February 18th and 19th. Defiant Wrestling returns to the Bolas Exhibition Center. See Defiant Wrestling Champion, The Truth, Austin Aries. General Manager Stu Bennett, formerly known as Wade Barrett. Plus, the Women's Champion, Kaylee Ray. Leader of the Curb Crawlers, Martin Kirby. The Renegade, Mark Haskins. Liverpool's #1, Zac Gibson. The Iron Man, Joe Coffey. David Starr, Jern Simmons, Primate, and Rampage. Suitable for all ages. Tickets from just £15 at wearedefiant.com.